Question 1206. Can a biological urge ever be an intellectual purpose?
I don't think those words belong in that order.
Yeah, I was thinking that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, something's not right there.
That's bad
early.
grammar, Dave. Amanda has taught me well. That is bad grammar.
No, we can figure this
Early,
out.
talk slowly, use smaller words.
Right. Can a
got it.
biological urge?
No. Biological's too long. Got more than 2 syllables.
But what do you mean by intellectual purpose? That's really the key. What do you mean by intellectual purpose? We all understand biological urge, but I've never had an intellectual purpose before.
No,
This is where you got to help me out.
Right. In the same way that Christians believe that their purpose is to serve God, they have an intellectual purpose.
Oh, so like
It comes down to the philosophical bit not being able to get an ought from a... I forgot what the phrase is.
an is from an ought or whatever it is.
Yes. An ought from an is.
Well, not with that minus the last couple of words, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So the point is that we have biological urges. Mostly the key one being to reproduce. Okay? But can that ever be an intellectual purpose?
That's what I was thinking you were aiming down the road of, you know. Can we go forward and want to have kids because we want them to be intellectually better than us, or?
No, that would be not necessarily... The wanting to have kids is very much a biological urge.
Yes, and the fact that Elena is going to figure out quantum gravity is an intellectual purpose.
It's a desire.
Bio urge. I'm still trying to figure part this.
Chad's making notes. You've confused Chad. That he has to take
These words don't belong in this order.
No, something. We're smart people.
Yeah.
Something doesn't make sense here.
Yeah, Dave, you didn't call us dumb at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
All right. So from what I gather, your basic assumption is that everything is a biological urge, but your question is, can we ever have an intellectual purpose as a result of that urge?
Yes.
So okay. So basically, is an intellectual purpose biological in nature? Is that your question?
Can it be? It's more, can it be? As it says.
Well, I mean, you could want to experiment with your biological urges for the purpose of scientific research. I mean,
are you fucking about with embryos? You leave them embryos alone. You leave them poor zygotes alone, messing about with their baby.
I was saying, shut the fuck up. That, like, you know, if you depending on what that just sex, say it's just sex, you can have a desire to, find out how many times you can come in a night, or different.
But that's not your purpose.
That you can discover during sex. What?
That's not my point. This is about defining your purpose. What is your purpose in life?
Oh, fuck you, Dave. I'm not answering this question.
Your purpose? No, that's not how those words go.
That is not how that question
we did not agree with that
question. What is your purpose?
That is not what we agreed to.
Exactly. See, it does this shit. What, Robbie?
Can I answer? Yes.
Go on.
No.
Biological urge to be with Manda, intellectual purpose to find out if a dirty Robbie is true.
Yeah, but
It's true.
The point is that
so you answered.
Is not.
Don't tell us what it is or isn't. Okay.
No,
Dave.
what I'm trying to get to is can you have we are repeatedly confronted with the fact that if you do not believe in a God, your life is purposeless. This is the counter.
So you're trying to tie, what you're trying to do here is you're trying to tie a life purpose into evolution. Is that what you're trying to do here?
No, I'm trying to say if it is a biological urge, is the biological urge the urge to reproduce or the urge to eat, the urge to anything?
Well, you know what? As a species, we have an intellectual curiosity. That is what has driven our scientific advancement for as long as we've walked this planet. So our desire to learn more things, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's a biological urge, but it is something that is ingrained in us. It's the reason that, our ancestors looked at a fire and touched it and realized, oh, that's fucking hot. Oh, but I can cook on it, things that
But it's not a purpose, though, is it? It's still not a purpose.
A purpose is to learn more about the world. That is a purpose.
Right. If I can say, Dave, right? A biological urge is something, in my opinion, that you have no control over.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
Now, an intellectual purpose is, by definition of the words, something that you've put thought into and want to move forward.
Well, this is my point.
All
this
right.
is where the
you're not saying
question
the point I'm saying is you can't. This is the problem that we've been saying from the start. You can't have one that is a biological urge that you have no control over and say, will it have, a purpose? But you can't.
I think if I answer the question, I think this conversation might be resolved.
Which is
so.
Here's the
Well,
note.
it's
Can we
no
see
with
the
an
note?
asterisk. I'm going to say no because the biological urges are to basically eat and fuck. So the fact that we are clever enough to invent things because we're good at those doesn't
To make
really.
it even fuck better.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
I was gonna say,
basically,
what about a sex swing?
what's that?
That's a scientific advancement in the field of biological urges.
It's okay, but if I finish my point, what you're doing right there is satisfying your biology.
God says and play
and
guitar.
that's fine. I'm not
Yeah, we're
saying
just going to
there's
keep
anything wrong with
interrupting you now, Chad.
Stop interrupting, Chad.
I'm just going to keep talking through it. I'm
Do
just
not
saying that
interrupt the sexy smart man.
intellectual
No,
purpose,
bad.
I'm going to say, is secondary. I'm thinking about this in terms of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Like we got to eat and fuck at the bottom, and then basically intelligence take care of the rest. So in terms of the biological needs, that's on the bottom. Because we're really good at the bottom, we get the stuff at the top. So
They're in different sections. They don't belong together.
that's
These
what I
words
mean. It's like a
Yes.
non-overlapping.
Well, this is my point. I mean, when writing the question, my assumption was no, they probably can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can. But the thing is, we took longer to figure out what the fucking question was.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jesus Christ.
Eddie,
Yes,
you think so?
I did it originally at the start. Think so. If you're talking basics, biological need is to eat, and the intellectual purpose is, well, if you don't eat, you're fucked. You're dead. So that's kind of intellectual. It's kind of stupid to starve.
It's true.
But
Yeah,
for
he's
a
not
purpose. But then later on, I'm thinking, no, hang on, you're right. It's not a purpose, and I can't really. It depends on what you put on either side of that coin.
It does. I
Oh,
completely
steel.
agree. Another super chat from Jeff. Thank you very much for £5. It says, is learning the physics of the rolling motion an intellectual purpose? I think it's an intellectual pursuit. Whether or not it's a purpose, you'd have to ask Manda.
No.
Manda's right in everything she says. She's always correct. Never question Manda. Never.
Never? Seraphim.
Waffles.
Waffles. Can a biological urge ever be an intellectual purpose? Waffles.
The answer's waffles.
Food.
I'm sure it can be, but again, I just woke up like 10 minutes before the stream started. So again, it's early. Talk slowly, smaller words.
I just smoked a joint and I'm just about done triple of rum, so don't worry about it.
I'm
Relax.
I wish I had something to drink. That would be so nice. I would love to get drunk.
Waffles.
Yeah, but waffles. My answer's waffles.
Right.
Damn it, B had my fucking answer.
It was gonna be 42, but I figured that was going to be too. That would be too expected of me. So waffles.
Well, if you want to know what the question was for 42, it's Dave's fucking thing, whatever that was.
Maybe the answer is actually, since usually when you give an answer for some math questions, you have to specify what you're doing the quantity of. So it's 42 waffles.
There you go.
Right, next question.
Wait.
Moving on. Dave.
No, he didn't.
Dave said no. Okay.
I've answered repeatedly, yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Apparently, Ginger's purpose is world domination.
No,
You're
good
failing
luck
at
with
that. You're failing at that very badly.
This is some serious gender hate today.
Because
Some
Robbie's here.
ginger nationalism.
We have self-hating gingers that support us.
They're the only people that you're allowed to hate now. So
No, the Welsh.
that and MAGA heads. So I guess that's true.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.